Can the USCIS Ombudsman help speed up my immigration case? Hi, I'm Jim Hacking, immigration lawyer practicing law throughout the United States out of our offices in St. Louis, San Diego, and Washington, D.C. As longtime viewers of this channel know, USCIS, the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service, is the agency that's in charge of processing all immigration benefit applications. These applications include naturalization, green card applications, asylum applications, H-1B visas, and all other kinds of applications where people are applying for an affirmative immigration benefit. USCIS is separate from ICE, Immigration Customs Enforcement, which is the arm of the government dedicated to kicking people outside the United States. USCIS has seen backlogs grow and grow and grow over the past few years, such that cases that used to take 2 or 3 months are now taking 9, 10, 12 months, even over a year, almost 2 years for some applications. This has led many people to wonder, what can I do to speed up my case? And they stumble upon a phrase that seems very strange. It's a word that you don't hear all that often, and they are intrigued by this. They're searching along in Google, what can I do to speed up my case? And they ask themselves this question: what is the USCIS Ombudsman? The Ombudsman is a strange word. It's not a word that we use very often, but the Ombudsman is outside of USCIS. They're supposed to be the people's watchdog, the people's eyes on USCIS. One of the roles of the USCIS Ombudsman is to look at the data and to check on processing times and issues that are coming up across all kinds of applications at USCIS. Think of it as a watchdog, like somebody going back and forth watching what USCIS is doing and figuring out if they are doing things correctly or incorrectly. Every year, USCIS Ombudsman issues an annual report talking about the statistics, talking about the trends, talking about what they've noticed, and that's a big chunk of what the USCIS Ombudsman does. But where people come across the Ombudsman in their search to get their cases sped up is the fact that USCIS Ombudsman is empowered and authorized to reach out to USCIS on behalf of individuals who are waiting to get their green card, waiting to get their citizenship, or for some other immigration benefit. The USCIS Ombudsman is supposed to advocate for you. They're supposed to try to help you get your case sped up. The USCIS Ombudsman doesn't work inside immigration, they work outside immigration, and their job is to make sure that everything is being done properly in your case. Now, here's the problem. In the old days, when cases went relatively quickly, it would only require the involvement of the USCIS Ombudsman in very few cases. In other words, the Ombudsman wasn't that busy because USCIS was generally doing their job and processing cases in a normal and timely fashion. But once the delays started getting very severe, and once all cases in all categories started taking months and months longer than they used to, the power of the USCIS Ombudsman stopped working as well. In other words, think about it this way. If everybody's case is delayed and everybody's asking the Ombudsman to expedite or to help expedite or speed up their case, there's really very little the Ombudsman can do. They might take an interest, they might have you fill out a form, they might ask you to authorize them to go reach out to USCIS, but at the end of the day, if everything's delayed and if the agency itself isn't devoted towards speeding things up, then the inquiry by the Ombudsman in one particular case is probably not going to move the ball very far. If you're a viewer of our Immigration Answer show, you know this already. People call the show every single day complaining about all of their attempts to speed up their immigration case, and specifically, they mention the fact that they asked the USCIS Ombudsman to assist with their matter. But the fact is that because these cases are all so backlogged, the Ombudsman simply can't do anything. They recently even issued a report saying they weren't going to make inquiries on run-of-the-mill delay cases. So that means that the only thing that works, the only chance you have, it's not the Ombudsman, it's not getting a member of Congress involved, it's filing a federal mandamus lawsuit against USCIS. To our knowledge, it's the only thing that really works consistently. It doesn't work in every single case, but it works in a lot of cases. So far, our office has filed over 1,200 mandamus actions, many of which took place after our clients first reached out to the USCIS Ombudsman and found out that the ombudsman couldn't really do anything to move their case along. So at the end of the day, you are certainly free to go talk to the ombudsman. You are certainly free to ask them to make an inquiry on your case, but you should not get your hopes up. You should not start planning to get that immigration benefit anytime soon. In the vast majority of cases, the ombudsman is powerless to get USCIS to do their job. And just like they tell you to keep on waiting, the agency basically tells the ombudsman, sorry, there are a lot of people in line ahead of them, COVID, backlog, sorry about that. And nothing actually happens. The only time anything happens is when you sue them. So if you have questions about whether or not the USCIS Ombudsman can help you, or if you have a story for me about how the USCIS Ombudsman did help you, I'd love to hear about it, but those stories are sadly few and far between. You can always give us a call at 314-961-8200. You can email us info@hackinglawpractice.com. Don't forget to join our Immigrant Home Facebook group. It's called Immigrant Home, and you can find us by searching for it in Facebook. We'd love to have you in there. We have over 8,000 members. We have tons of people joining every day where they're trading immigration information, talking about processing times, talking about delays, talking about their frustrations with the ombudsman. And then we also have our Immigration Answers show, which you can find if you subscribe to our YouTube channel or if you join that Immigrant Home Facebook group. Thanks a lot and have a great day.